Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King 2, and today I'm going to be giving you part 13 of What If Naruto Was Put Through Hell and Adopted by the Raikage. Remember to get this one to 100 likes as usual, share this to all of your friends on your social media platform, and also guys, stay in tune for the rest of the what ifs coming your way over in Anime King and Anime King 3. If you're new, yes, you heard that correctly. I indeed have 3 channels, Anime King 2, and Anime King 3, which I post what if on every single day for you guys to enjoy. So go ahead and click those red subscribe button and turn on those bell notifications they posted to see exactly when I post. So yeah, without further ado, what do you say we begin this new episode? Start the intro. So the last time we left off, the group were on the joint missions with the Kumo team there, as all of them were fussing over Naruto as Sakura and Yakumo went to get some firewood. But then they were attacked. As Sakura saw Naruto, Naruto was the one that attacked her, as she was taken away. Sakura woke up as she was bound, as she saw Naruto came inside with Yakumo beside her, as he had a weird smile on his face. But before he could do anything, he was pierced through the chest by Kuro, as he used his tail that was rather sharp to pierce right through him, reverting him back towards his normal state, showing that it was Naruto was an old man in a transformation, as they were both injected by a strange poison, not to kill them, but it will definitely mess with them badly. They had to get to Naruto, as Kuro will lead them outside, but before they could get away, as Yakumo was able to create a bird out of nothingness using Genjutsu, where she could bend the fabric of reality and turn it into reality. But they were hit by a massive fireball as they fell into the river. Luckily they fell on their back as they were able to breathe, as they were unconscious. As Naruto found the girl, the one that was picking flowers or herbs, to find the cure. As she saw the two burn logs, but it was Yakumo and Sakura, as she pulled them out of the river, as she had only time to save one, as she focused on Sakura, seeing her injuries weren't that bad as Yakumo was on the back. But Naruto came there after, as he took the both of them, as Zabuza came there as well. Zabuza told Haku that they were getting out of here. Something was just wrong about this whole situation, as he saw Naruto while Naruto's wearing a mask with the snakes coming from him. Something was just wrong about it. He had a feeling, and whenever he had a gut feeling, he always tended to follow it. So with that, they left after getting their money. As Naruto brought the girls back to camp, as Yujito was worried about him, but he told her that he was fine. Sasuke was there as well, as she wanted to kill Sasuke for the things that she heard that Sasuke did to her brother. She was angry at that. Konoha was trying to kill her brother. She needs to tell the Raikage about this. Kushin and the others also left out as they made their way, as Naruto and Kakashi met up as they faced off against the bandits, as Aoi was amongst them. Kakashi was, well, he underestimated the man because the hero water had triple Aoi's power, as he drank so much of it as he knocked Kakashi down. The man was about to kill him, but one of Naruto's clones came in and stopped the man, giving Kakashi the time to get back on guard. As with that, Naruto made his way underground, as everything was going fine until a massive tsunami wiped out everyone. But a few minutes earlier, as Naruto had tasted some of the hero water, he was about to destroy the stream, but he didn't know that so much chakra would be released because of the hero water boosting his chakra, as he was the one that accidentally created a tsunami that wiped out everyone above, as everyone was lost. As Kushina, her leg was broken. She had no choice as she called Minato. As Minato went to find Naruto, who was swept up worse inside of this. Kuro was flying. Kuro grew wings from his back. That was a rather strange sight, as Naruto thought that he was dreaming. As Minato flashed Naruto back towards the camp, but they couldn't find Katsumi. As they searched, they couldn't find Katsumi. Minato got the envoys. As they searched the entire place, the Kumo ninjas were gone. As Minato saw how Naruto was able to calm down Kushina using that strange manipulated way, as the boy knew that she loved him and he used it at his advantage. But Kumo wouldn't do something like that, given the peace treaty that he had. They wouldn't do something as stupid as that. After all, that would just ruin everything. But Kumo ninjas were gone. But Katsumi woke up. She was being carried away by Haku and Zabuza, as she heard what they said, as they were going to bring her to Orochimaru. But she didn't have the willpower or strength to fight back. And she was gone. She was taken. Seems like she would never be seen again. So yeah guys, that was basically what I thought. You guys can switch across the place and check out for yourself. So this is begin this new episode. We begin this episode at time skip, since that mission, since Katsumi was taken. So, Chunin exams are coming up in a couple of months, Naruto muttered, as he ran his hand through his long blonde hair that was tied up in a ponytail at his back, going down. His whisker marks were more pronounced, and he had a growth spurt, and his voice sounded more adult, no longer like a small child. As Yakumo eyes were sparkling beside him, as he knew what the girl wanted to do, as the both of them got in the pose. Yush, they said, let the fire of youth burn brightly on us all today. As they stood, there was a massive ocean behind them, crashing waterfalls. Sai stood there as he felt like he wanted to slap them over the head with something, anything. Yo, said Kakashi, as he waved a hand at the group coming over. His group, after dropping Sasuke and Sakura to Ebisu, with some other unnamed kid that was placed on his team for having the requirements of 3. Because with the loss of Katsumi, it became reality. Kushina had slowly realized that she lost her daughter at first. It was pure denial, after denial, but then she realized it was a reality, as she seemed to have lost her mind, to the point where she was trying to force Yakumo to wear a red hair wig, and she called her Katsumi more than one occasions. She wasn't stable enough to remain their sensei. Raikage sensei, have you read it, huh? Said Naruto, as he and his sensei was a two to probably only know. You mean Ichi forbidden fruits? I'm at the 5th chapter, in the forest where the red hair sensei enjoyed the forbidden taste of both of his Kunoichi's lips. Sometime I wonder where Jiraiya get his inspiration from, said Naruto. You should just read up until chapter 9. It's wonderful. Yeah, but don't spoil anything for me, said Kakashi, as Sai stood there perplexed. This boy, he could never figure him out. Sometime he was dead serious, sometime he was frail, sometime he was just weird, and sometime he was just a closet pervert. Sai couldn't understand anything about him. And something weird happened on the first night traveling back, as Naruto had gone asleep, saying that he had a terrible headache. The next morning, he had grown out of his clothes, earning a lot of blushes from the girls, Sakura and Yakumo. The immediate names had no idea how it happened. Well, Naruto had a theory, seeing that he was the only one that drank the hero water, and he didn't die from it. It changed his body. You know, that part with the shower scene, said Kuro. Kakashi turned towards the snake with a murderous gaze, as he was about to spoil it. Kakashi didn't blink. Isn't he smaller, he asked. He's not Kuro, said Naruto. He's his son, Yaru. As the snake chuckled, a lot of people made the same mistake. He told me I'm his splitting image when he was smaller. And anyway, my affinity is with fire, which means where I go, I scorch the ground. I am the trailblazer of flames. I am the burner of Armageddon. I am Yuro, the fire snake, he said. You know, I'm starting to think that he cloned himself, said Naruto. Yuro bit Naruto inside the cheek. Ow, said Naruto, as he left a small burn mark behind. I'm not a clone, he said. What a bright personality, said Kakashi, as he ducked as a snake launched himself towards him. Come back here and say it to my face, Yuro said, as Naruto felt a breeze wash over his face. Well, time to get started on the great plan soon. Meanwhile, somewhere in the land of fire, a casino, Tsunade was shocked. She was shocked to her core, because she won the jackpot 5 times. As in 5, her luck was never supposed to be so good. It was always supposed to be bad. Surely, the machine was broken. As she turned towards Shizune, who was also shaken up, knowing that Tsunade winning spree was something rather dangerous. Ah, Tsunadeheim, I found you, said a voice. A scowl came on Tsunade's face. What is it, you idiot, she said, greeting him so casually after all these years. It concerned your great-grandnephew, said Jiraiya. As Tsunade was probably the only one that can convince Minato and Kushina to let the boy go before due time. Tsunade Senju, he finally found her in this small town filled with nothing but casinos. Certainly, she would be intrigued that she had a grandnephew. And then, he would tell her about Katsumi's disappearance, her grandniece. So she would be set even more on coming back. I don't have a grandnephew, Tsunade muttered, as she was perplexed. Well, it turns out you do, said Jiraiya as Tsunade pulled on the slot machine. The thing bing! As she won once again. 6 in a row. Yeah. Some crazy shit is gonna happen. Time skip. Konoha. Burn marks. Weren't beautiful. Burn marks were horrible. Pieces of dark burnt flesh on one's body. Didn't matter the soap. Anything that you use. Those marks stay there. Sure, she was happy that the drug didn't work on her. That she was acting crazy over some bandit. She was happy that she got back home. As she was weak. The same thing that happened to Katsumi could have happened to her as well. Those burn marks on her side. Those burn marks made her feel uncomfortable. It wasn't like Ino. Ino had done a couple of easy missions. Crying behind Shikamaru and Choji. She had come out completely unscathed. Not even a single wound that would show any lasting effect. As Sakura ran her hand through her shorter hair and looked at the window, she wasn't ugly. It was clear that she wasn't. But her forehead protector was the only reason why she wasn't called Forehead Girl anymore. She watched ninjas walk by, or jumping on the roofs, making the way, as her hand went over the right side of her body with a burn mark from her right shoulder going down. She bit her lip. Yakumo, Naruto's teammate, didn't have a single scar. At first, Sakura thought that she was lying and she was using some genjutsu. After all, she did got hit as well. But instead it turned out the truth. Skin was smooth and no amount of disrupting the genjutsu that she tried had proven that she had a scar on her. As she was told by Naruto what happened, she cringed. She could have been dead, alright. That would have been a much worse solution. As she watched the people walking around the burn marks, perhaps they were hiding theirs. She grabbed her long sleeve red dress. It was a bit warmer now, but she wouldn't wear the short sleeve one. She wore her long shorts. She went down the stairs to leave without even saying goodbye. Maybe she just wanted to hurt them somehow. Because when she had came back, they told her that she was not worthy of being a ninja. She should become a civilian like them. But she would not give up. Sasuke was still on her team. And not to mention she got a new genin. His name was Yagura. He was a taijutsu user like Rock Lee. She should feel really sad for Katsumi. But just like how she got her marks, anything could happen out there. Anyone could die at any time. And now Katsumi was gone. It was the overuse of high-rank jutsu from the bandits. And her friend was gone. She didn't know where her body was. But having not been able to see her for all this time, she was sure that she was gone. As she arrived towards the training ground where the scorching water was, why couldn't it be freezing cold or even dirty? She really hated scorching things. As her chin, under her chin, where the bit of the scar was, kind of irritated her at that moment. Sasuke glanced towards her for a brief second before turning towards their sensei, Ebisu. Special Joni. He was the one that trained ninjas until they become elite. Usually, he should be training Konohamaru, the third grandson. But Kakashi had called in a favor on him, dropping off the kids, because he had to take care of Kushina's team, because Kushina was no longer fit to teach them. Sakura flinched as the man explained the exercise, walking straight over there in the water as she went. She fell, as her nerves were all over the place. She quickly pulled herself out as fast as possible. As she coughed out the water, Sasuke was too busy, as he was just walking and falling and picking himself back up. He had already trained to walk on surfaces like trees and building sides. Water was the next step, then he would do it. Kagura was doing his best, but he was not basically walking in the water with chakra. He was skipping on it with pure taijutsu. Sakura's side, they both would probably get the exercise done by the end of the day, but she as a failure would not. As the day came to an end, as Ebisu told her it was time, but the girl refused to leave as she just stayed there by herself. She hated these marks. She hated them. Why couldn't Naruto heal her like he did Yakumo? Maybe she should talk to him again. Why are you crying? A voice said as she looked up. There was a man standing in front of her, wearing a wolf Anvu mask. I was not crying, she snapped at the man. Be a higher level ninja for all that she cared. She had important things to do, like take on her mother's job, becoming a housewife for someone important. She wasn't fit to be a ninja. You were, he said as he offered his gloves. His hand that was covered in a thick black gloves. It's nothing to be embarrassed about. Sakura slowly took the hand as she was lifted up with ease. A ninja should show no emotion, she said, as she bit her lower lip. A ninja is not a tool, miss. We have emotions. Refusing to look upon them is refusing reality. He gently ruffled her pink hair. She could have stepped back or anything, but his words, the way he spoke, it made her relax. As she passed out right in his arms, her body so exhausted she just fell asleep. Yoru, understand how it works, a voice said. Yes, boss, your gloves are covered in a light, sleeping toxin. through the use of fire chakra can channel through it. It can become airborne. The fact that we're immune to toxin, perfect for finesse, but not for battle. As a snake came out of the envoy's jacket and looked at the girl. Father told me you had a knack for stealing woman's heart. I know him. He told you that he slept with double my number in snakes. That Yoru chuckle. Come on, let's get her back home. You know, he also said that you were a softie. Didn't you hate her at one point? Yoru asked. It's Naruto. Yes, it was him. Put Sakura in his back and dash off. She has purpose. And one more kunai with me is one less for him, said Naruto. Well, I don't care, boss. You know I like my ramen like a spicy volcano eruption, right? As Naruto, before he could say anything, had to dodge a volley of snakes. As he stopped. Hey, Assassin-kun, I found you. As Naruto froze at that, he knew that voice. He kept quiet as he felt his boss tense. Anko stood there with 4 Anvu-class ninjas surrounding Naruto. She did not know. Seems you're going on a date somewhere, Assassin-kun. But I can't have you do that, said Anko. This was the assassin going around killing people after all. The one behind him charged forward as Naruto gently threw Sakura towards the man. As the man looked at her, she was a kunoichi. He could not. As Naruto threw a senmon that pierced right through the man's skull. One down. As he yanked the ninja wire. As he used it that was placed on Sakura to gently place her down so she wouldn't get in any harm way. He had to dodge a volley of kunais as he was in mid-air. Can't dodge in mid-air, Assassin-kun, said Anko. As she threw a kunai towards him, but he used his arm guard to block it. Well, you can perish, he said. The Anvus down below release a combination jutsu of fire and wind. Massive roaring flames came towards him and hit him head on. Got him, one of them said, as he grabbed his dead comrade. Before going over, take a look at the pink-haired girl. Oh, we didn't. Keep your guards up, Uncle yelled. He's toying with us. There's no charred body around. I'll be damned if you get away. I know he's here, precisely. As 2 other Anvus appear. One was wearing a tiger mask, while the other one was wearing a horse mask, slitting the Anvu's throat. But your mistake, however, was thinking that there was just one of us. As Anko felt something press up against her throat, as a person was behind her, as a cold metal of the kunai was there. I'm enjoying this. I know I shouldn't, but I'm enjoying this. The thrill, the hunt, the blood. I'll kill all the evildoers in Konoha. Those you hide, those you all protect, those you make look innocent. And when I'm done, Konoha would be clean, perfect, empty. As he dashed away with the other 2, leaving the pink-haired unconscious girl right between the Anvu corpses that he killed. Anko bit her lip. This was another Orochimaru. No, he was worse. At least Orochimaru was being taken seriously. This guy wasn't. But here he was. He just killed 3 Anvu level ninjas with a speed that rivaled my guy in his best days. And he wasn't alone. At least 3 of them. This meant it was an organization all along. An organization that enjoyed hunting down Jonin, level ninjas and Anvus to make them suffer. Many had called quits. And for once, Konoha was in dire need of ninjas to do missions, and not because they had died. The Chunin exams was around the corner, and if these assassins, if they were not caught by then, it could be a political disaster. They had tracked him down through a pattern that the assassin used to follow. At first, his targets were only low-level Jonins. Then he started to do mid-Jonins to low-level Anvus. Then he kicked it up to high-level Jonins and mid-level Anvus. He had yet to touch a high-level Anvu though, but he was getting smarter and smarter. Not to mention stronger as well. He did not use a special ninjutsu in a fight for it to recognize his type, or did he focus on one fighting style? Not to mention he had a hostage as Anko checked the girl. As she found the forehead protector, maybe he just doesn't touch girls. Nah, probably thought that was too much for them to fight. As she picked up the girl and made her way towards the hospital. The next day, as Naruto stood on top of a tree in the forest of death, his arm guards on, as Yoru was sleeping peacefully, making a hissing sound every now and then. The mission to receive Torah had turned from a D level into a C level 1 because the cat decided it would be best for him to go into the forest of death. Goddamn stupid retarded cat. He went into the forest of death where it could be eaten. It's always sad when we have to catch Torah, said Yoru. He thinks it's unfair to take away his freedom for enjoyment of that big fat woman. I know, the day I leave Konoha, I'll bring that cat to Kuro, said Naruto. What is it, Sai? Said Naruto. As Sai was on an ink bird behind Naruto. This forest of death seems peaceful, doesn't it, Naruto-san? He said. Dead things don't make noise. They just rot, said Naruto. Kind of dark as always, Naruto, said Kakashi as he climbed up the tree. As he scratched the back of his head, shouldn't you all be searching for the cat? I mean, I know I nominated you all for Chunin exams already, but still, this is training. I know, Kakashi-sensei. And if I wasn't disturbed, I would tell you that I'm sensing Tora right now, said Naruto, 100 meters on a rock near the North Creek, taking in the sun. I nod as he flew off with his bird. I'll tell Yakumo that she can stop cutting down trees in the forest, said Kakashi as he made his way off. The death of Katsumi had probably impacted on Naruto. Kakashi knew that, well at least he thought, he was the one that he tasked to destroy the hero water. But who would have known doing that would cause half the city to collapse, as Naruto had been pale for most of it, unconscious. Saying that he had a terrible headache when he woke up in that strange body. His body seemed to just grow overnight. He was laughing uncontrollably, like he had snapped. Kushina had to slap him to tell him to calm down, that Katsumi was going to be fine. Kushina had been positive on that for a while, but as the time went on, the more she realized that Katsumi was gone. It was normal at first. Yakumo had been considered a threat by her, and then a friend. And then she told Yakumo how nice orange would have looked on her. So Yakumo wore orange one day. Kushina had came with a red wig and told her that she would only answer by Katsumi-chan for today. They had been alone when that happened, and Kushina had wrapped the girl up in her chains because she wouldn't let her leave. As Naruto had arrived, as Minato had made his way out there as well, the both of them had to calm her down and suppress her chakra so that she wouldn't go berserk. Sensei was probably having it tough as well. His ex-wife was now mad at him, incredibly so, and he lost his daughter, and his son still wouldn't even look at him. Still, something else bothered Kakashi. The forest of death, it was too quiet. His mission wasn't any different from finding Tor in the village. It seems like there was no danger. Well, it seems like he was wrong, as one of the forest lions came at him, pouncing to rip into his flesh. As he pulled out his kunai, he was still focused on his book. As he was about to throw the kunai, he did. As he heard the thing impacted into a tree, he turned. The lion was not there. What the hell? Probably shouldn't have been so focused in his book, because he had no idea what just happened. Meanwhile, the lion was being held down by a snake who was glaring at it with murderous intent. As the lion seemed to calm down, looking quite scared. Something was wrong. Yes, it was. The mission came to an end as they found Tora. It was rather easy. But just as they were about to enter the Hokage's office, Anko emerged, stopping for a moment as Sakura was beside her, her gaze down towards the floor. As Sakura realized that they stopped, as she looked up as she saw Naruto and his team. As Anko narrowed her eyes towards Naruto, he wasn't the 11-year-old boy that she first take care of when he just got here. He was taller, more leaner. And for something strange, he looked just like the assassin. The same size. That was weird. Except different arm guards, and plus he was not wearing a mask. She didn't want to hear his voice because she didn't want to confirm her suspicions. It couldn't be him, of course not. No, she had to keep her thought about him pure. Not everyone that she knew would turn into a bloodthirsty killer. So she just walked away, as Sakura tailed right behind her. She did not look at Kakashi, who had abandoned her, and Sasuke to another teacher. Kakashi knew that Sakura would be upset. Sensei had told him that he needed to keep an eye out for Naruto with Kushina, unable to. But Anko, for her to just ignore Naruto like that, they enter soon afterwards, as the look on Minato's face tensed a bit, before returning back to normal. Did you get the cat? As Sai unsealed the scroll, releasing the cat, as Yakumo grabbed him, using different set of hands to grab him. Minato smiled. Nice to see you gotten control of your reality genjutsu, as she handed the cat over to the daimyo's wife. Good, there's no more missions for the rest of the day. You're all free to go, except for you, Naruto. I need to speak with you in private. As the team nodded before they left Naruto alone inside. Listen, I was thinking that it might be more enjoyable for you in Konoha if you transfer towards the Namikaze mansion. Kushina-san would be, surely, happy to have a relative nearby. And order me then, said Naruto. Do not ask me. You're the Hokage, right? Make it a long-term S-rank mission. S-rank? Come on, D-rank would be better. But this is not a mission, and I won't order you to. But you're Kushina's relative. She would really like to see you. And she was really hurt by your words back then. I just told her the truth, Hokage-sama, said Naruto. Her daughter is dead, and the same applies for her son. She just needs to accept reality. Minato hardened his glare on Naruto, but said nothing. Fine, he said. Can you explain to me why someone is going around killing Jonins and Anvo class ninjas using Wind Affinity? How the hell did he find it out? Perhaps you charged too much chakra into the Senbon, and he found out, said the Kyuubi. Damn it, said Naruto. The person also dresses like you and also has armed guards. As Naruto simply shrugged, if this assassin dressed like me with white armed guards, well, It seems like he just copied my fashion sense. Minato narrowed his eyes. The assassin was wearing red armed guards. He did not tell Naruto that because he wanted to see if Naruto would say red on his own, or mention his white ones. Because if he had said red, that would have nailed everything right down. You know, I could force you to tell me what's going on. By torture, said Minato. Well, then you will have hell to pay, said Naruto, because my father is coming soon. And unless you kill me, I'm gonna report everything to him. And when he does come, not like you can dive in my mind and remove that memory. As Naruto narrowed his eyes, are you threatening me? Said Minato. I'm simply telling you the truth. I'm a weapon, least to Konoha, who has been given a choice. The choice is Kumo, and it will always be Kumo. Nothing, no one, not even Kami himself, could make me change my idea. Minato sighed. People change, he said. I'm sure you will change your mind. Maybe after getting a girlfriend here. How about that soccer girl, he asked. You know, she was asking some questions about you earlier, like where you live. As Naruto raised the eyebrow, doesn't all of Konoha know where I live? I mean the fact that civilians keep on trying something, and I keep on piling their paralyzed body in front of my house, covered in pink paint. That should be a big sign. Maybe she just wanted to be sure, said Minato. Anyway, you have personally been assigned to act as a guide for an important return of the head of the Senju clan, Tsunade Senju. She is also the granddaughter of the first Hokage, and her grandmother, Mito Uzumaki, belong to the Uzumaki clan, for which you are a part of. So in a certain way, your family. My name is Naruto, said Naruto, and that's final. If Dad has a surname, I would use it. But since he does not, I am Naruto, son of A, the Raikage of Kumo, and that's final. I'll deal with the woman, but no one's gonna pinch my cheek, he said. As Minato simply chuckled at that, she's also one of legendary Sanins. So when I say, if she wants to pinch your cheek, she will. So, where's this woman, said Naruto, as he rolled his eyes. Oh, she's at Namikaze mansion, of course. Now, Naruto-chan, said Minato, seeing the murderous aura glowing around Naruto. The mission is waiting, he said, as Naruto left. Guess I'll mark this one down as a free mission. He didn't ask me what level it was after all, said Minato. Maybe Tsunade could convince him. Maybe Tsunade could make him see the will of fire, since working with people at that village didn't work. Maybe try working with people that kind of dislike it. Still better than using Danzo, alternative, torture, and mind break on the boy. That would be a last resort. And the assassin, whoever it was, he wasn't alone. Still, Naruto fit the bill, with the use of shadow clones. But the other assassins, they had different masks. None of those were the best they were in Konoha. They would not lose to Naruto. Yes, they would not lose to a brat. Naruto sneezed as he left the office. As he made his way down an alleyway, where he saw a rock, a rectangular rock. Haruka raised his fist as he was about to punch the rock. But the rock moved and dashed around Naruto's leg. A boy with a blue scarf. Konohamaru, you can't skip lessons. That was what Haruka used to say. But Konohamaru was bored, as the lessons were all boring, so he usually escaped from class. Still, as Konohamaru looked up, he saw a blue-eyed boy with blonde hair, with armed guards, black clothing, as he seemed to be strapped with weapons all over him. Or he was just an older kid. As Naruto looked down at the boy, playing Truman, he said. The boy jumped back. I am Konohamaru Sarutobi. Grandfather was a third Hokage. He sacrificed himself to kill the Kyuubi. Haruka paled, as Konohamaru did not know that he was talking to the person that had the beast inside of him. Oh, I'm not playing Truman, he said. Naruto picked the boy up and threw him towards Haruka, who caught him. I am Naruto, and I hate long-winded idiots. As Naruto started to walk away, Naruto, this is not how Naruto stopped as he looked towards Haruka. As that knife popped into Haruka's head when Naruto brutally murdered Mizuki. Did you say something? Haruka-san, said Naruto. Nothing, Haruka said, as he took Konohamaru and leave. You know you're getting worse, Uro said. What, said Naruto? Throwing the boy like that against Haruka. What, he bumped into me, said Naruto. I'm not talking about that. As Naruto sighed, the story, Uro said. Fine. When we came back, he gave the fault of Katsumi to me. Not on her being weak, but to me. She was weak, unfit to be a kunoichi like Sakura and the rest of those fine girls. They should understand that being out there in the field means death, not playing around like some idiot, said Naruto. Still, you should have a talk with Pops, said Uro. I suppose you're right, said Naruto. Seems I'm not getting better. Thank Kami that Kuro is a good counselor. We're being followed, said Yuro. Yeah, and judging by the smell, said Naruto out loud, it's someone who doesn't take baths all the time. I took a bath recently, a voice said. As Kiba gave away his position, said Shino. Hinata, you can come out as well. Hinata emerged. She was playing with her fingers. So, said Naruto, how are my two favorite troublemakers doing today? As he stepped towards Shino and Kiba. As Kiba raised his arm, but Naruto punched him. As he rolled over to the wall. I told you, no matter what, never, ever give away your position. I'm sorry, boss. Did you have to hit me, said Kiba. Well, you only understand when physical hurt, said Naruto. So, why were you guys following me? I was curious as Naruto looked up. As Kurenai was standing on the fence nearby. Why my team was refusing to enter Chunin exams? I got no idea either, said Naruto. So why are you guys refusing to enter? Naruto asked, as Shino was one that spoke. When Sensei asked us, when we be ready to take Chunin exams? Kiba reply was the day that Naruto said that we are. Sensei then got curious. As Naruto turned towards Kiba, it's a true, Kiba said. I can't even land a scratch on you when we spar. So if you're in the exams, and if they're as strong as you in there, what's the point of us entering, said Kiba. We're not ready yet. And that is why I will wish to speak to Kakashi about combined team training, said Kurenai. In this way, I can see how he's taking care of Yakumo-chan as well. I homeschooled her for a long while, and I'm hoping that she got over her fears. She's done that, said Naruto, trust me. I'll talk to Kakashi when I see him, but right now I got a mission to escort someone around the village. As he waved goodbye, as Naruto was kind of panicking, as he realized that he missed out something big. Konoha has the Byakugan. If one of those Ayukas set their trail on him. My, you're an idiot, said the Kyuubi. And why is that, said Naruto. Just coat the mask in your chakra. It will prevent the Byakugan from seeing your face. All they will see is a flickering blue chakra. You know, recently you have been rather nice and helpful, said Naruto. Well, you did age considerably recently. And besides, you're gonna die soon. Naruto paused. Wait, what? What the hell are you talking about, he said. Oh, you got submerged in the hero's water. You did not drink it, you got submerged. Dip into it. And one sip is supposed to increase your chakra capacity tenfold. But you got submerged. You got lucky that you were thrown into a normal waterfall when the explosion went off. And at the same time my chakra were poured into your veins. Instead of dying, you age faster. So, your body is actually like 16 years old. Still, the process will take some time to stop. You might, in the following years, grow to the 25 aging mark before your body starts to age normally. As Naruto released a sigh of relief. Don't scare me like that. I thought I was gonna die tomorrow. What? I just told you that you lost a good chunk of your life. Perhaps 20 years or so. Shouldn't you be crying over it, the fox said. I'm a ninja. Self-pitying will not get me anywhere. Lifespan of a ninja is not that long in a way. That's why I should have been sealing a fisherman. I love fish, said the Kyuubi, as she watched the bars in front of her. They were getting weaker as his cells were rapidly increasing. His body was getting stronger though. But the chains, there were hundreds, a minefield of chains outside, ready to grab her just in case. As she realized that either he make good on his promise and release her, or she was going to be transferred to a new container. As Naruto made his way to Namikaze mansion, this was the first time that he went here by will. There were two Chunin guards there. I'm here to escort Miss Senju-sama. I'll be waiting. He tried the polite tone at first, as the two guards stared at him, before they tried to lash out at the demon, as snakes came from Naruto's sleeve. Go call her, he said. The both of them tense, as they made their way. Your anger is getting out of control. You perhaps need a vacation, said Yuro. Besides, you don't get enough sleep. Why does everyone think that 3 hours of sleep is so bad, said Naruto? Because it is a bad habit. You need to stop going down this path of self-destruction, because it will make many people sad. Fine, I'll go talk to Kuro first thing after this mission. Besides, how long could it take? A couple minutes later, a blonde woman appeared, and she was wearing a green hiyori. But her assets would have made even Samui blink in shock, as someone was running up behind her, a black-haired girl with a small pig. Tsunade-sama, said Naruto. So you're Naruto Uzumaki, she said as she looked over the boy. Jiraiya was wrong, this was no kid, as he was taller than Jiraiya described. He was more leaner, and not to mention she saw something moving under his jacket. Well, Jiraiya did told that he took after uncle with snakes. Still, he resembled Minato and Kushina so much, it was like a mix between the two. And he hated him so much, and Konoha as well. She hated Konoha because he took everything away from her. The only reason why she was here is because Kushina was her relative, and she was the godmother for Katsumi. That meant she was supposed to be the godmother for Naruto as well, but no one told her that. They had only told her that out of the twins one had died. Jiraiya was told, but not her, because if she had known she would have punched Minato all the way through the land of fire. As he had put Kushina through so much, now the kid hated them. And the kid's last word to Kushina, where he told her that she didn't have a son neither, had broken the woman's psyche. As Kushina was in the room, holding on tightly to Katsumi close, he had on chakra suppression seals to avoid her from lashing out with their chains. As she had to be force-fed as a girl, refused to do anything, refused to even eat, and it pains Tsunade to see her like that. My name is Naruto, Senju-sama. I'm the weapon leased from Kumo to Konoha, a sign to escort you in the village, said Naruto. As Yoru came from Naruto's jacket, I am Yoru, Naruto's partner. Pleasure to meet you. Shizune held on to Tonton a bit harder. After all, snakes like to eat other animals, especially pigs. He can talk, said Tsunade. That's our boss here. As a knack for puppetism, said Yoru. What? I'm lighting up the atmosphere. I thought you were supposed to be Kuro. Kuro's my father, the head of the boss summon, said Yoru. As Naruto glared towards him slightly. Oh, shouldn't have said that. Snake boss? That can't be possible. The snake summoning boss cannot be your father, because you can't have that scroll, said Tsunade. Because that scroll is... Tsunade eyes wide. No, that's impossible. He couldn't have. Senju-sama, I'm here to escort you, said Naruto. Where do you wish to go? Well, I like to go around town. Gambling slots. Sick bars. Come on, let's make a move on, she said. Naruto started to walk. People in the street split apart, moving, giving them way, as he realized who that was. You're quite quiet for a brat, she said. As Naruto simply nodded, Tsunade eyebrow twitch. You know, you could say something. Why should I, said Naruto. I'm being forced to stay here because of a war. I'm providing my well-being, so a war will not start. I do not like this village or the people here, said Naruto. For instance, that guy over there. As Naruto looked over at someone that had strange pink lines in his hair, tried to enter my house to write something on my walls with pig blood. I should have killed him, but yet I let him go. After picking his hair, that is. It's not fashion, said Tsunade. As most of the people that they walked past had pink markings all over them. You actually have that many people hating you, she said. Come on, said Naruto. They told you who I am, right? As he seemed to be a bit annoyed. Well, they should see you as Naruto snapped his eyes towards her. Those gaze, that look. It reminded her so much of Orochimaru. I am the son of the Kage of Kumo. I'm a Kumo ninja that wear a Kumo headband, he said, as he pointed towards his right arm. And I'm forced to wear the Konoha one, as he pointed at his wrist. Kumo and Konoha ninjas don't go well together. That is why they hate me. If we add that other thing, then hello, why the hell am I still here? Oh yeah, I can't leave. I can't leave because Konoha doesn't want me, and yet I can't leave. At present, the Hokage has tried everything, but forcing me to marry someone to stay here. Naruto had to move away as a fist swooped the air where his head was. Senju-sama, he said. Then you broke Kushina on purpose with your words, said Tsunade angrily. I thought it was strange when Minato told me how much that you try to act like you actually love her on your trip back. You played the kid card, trying to make her believe that you were there for her. Then you took all of that away with a simple word. Do you realize what you done to her when she needed you? In that moment, when she had nothing left, when she thought that the world was gonna end for her. So what, said Naruto, his tone bitter. It's too easy to see. Only one side of the coin, isn't it? And it's too difficult to see everything. Maybe I did, maybe I did not. But then again, she did kidnap me. Tsunade brought her fist down as Naruto poofed away. As she turned and blocked his fist. You think you can go up against me? A Sani brat, she said. Not alone. As Tsunade dodged the clone kick that was enhanced by wind chakra. Again, I'm a one-man army. Didn't you know that? As her fists connected once again, as he poofed away. Clones, you must be at your wit's end now. She didn't blink as she remembered Jiraiya's words. The brat has got so much chakra he trained all day under a Sengan without fainting. Then, he was able to make 20 clones at the end. 20. The people in the street started screaming, leaving confusion. Tell me, brat, how much can you create, she asked. More than 2,000, another one appeared. So well, it wasn't a boast. Where's the real one, she asked. Force of death, said the clone. And why are you telling me this, she asks. Because Yoru received the call back from Kuro, and Naruto has gone there as well, because it was starting to get out of hand. You seem more collected than the other clones, said Tsunade. I am Alpha, the first shadow clone of the month. The more time passes, the more stress the original gets. So I keep to myself in the forest of death, training, so as to not be disturbed. Tsunade raised an eyebrow. That's impossible. He had. You stay here for an entire month. No, that's insane. The chakra that is needed to... Hush, the clone said. We have chakra far more than we actually need. It nearly doubled after the event in Taki. So, we have no trouble. Now the anger got replaced by curiosity. I take you're not the only one. No, there's Beta, that focus on ninjutsu theory. There's Gamma, that focus on genjutsu art. And there's Delta, and Explain. So tell me, those last two one, what do they focus on? Asked Nadia as she started to panic. Was the boy really another Orochimaru that go around killing people and experimenting on them? I'm being called back, oh well, as Alpha poofed away. Shizune. Yes, Nadsama? Going on a stroll in the forest. You stay here, as Nadia marched towards the forest of death. He needed to answer her question, and by the way, she felt like she was being toyed with. That hasn't happened in a very long time. As Shizune saw that the boy had dropped a weight to keep up with her master's speed, she tried to lift it, but to her surprise she couldn't. She couldn't even budge a thing from the ground. What the hell? Meanwhile, as Uncle was in the forest of death, looking for a Slippercon, or Scaly-chan, but they were nowhere to be seen. Snakes were still around, but her snakes, they were all gone. It was like someone had hunted her snakes down and killed them. But Slippercon, he was big. Very, very big. Where was his body? She didn't hear that twig crack as she heard a gurgle. Something fell on her shoulder as she looked. Blood. She looked up to see a Anvu. Anvu that was following her. He was no more. Uncle flashed away from a tree as she landed on the other side. Looking around as she saw another Anvu. Half of his body being devoured. But there was no sign of what done it. She then felt something as she turned as she saw a brown snake. Larger than her. As it didn't seem to have the biting force to bite the body. Because it looked like it was fangs. Teeth that bit into the body of the Anvu. The snake looked at her. So whatever it was still around here. Oh come on, she said. I know you like Uncle-chan, right? All snakes like her. Please, come this way, Uncle-san. Uncle blinked. She's lost it. Yeah, she's losing her mind. Because the snake was talking. Snakes could really talk. And the ones in the forest of death do not talk. What the hell was going on? He was here. As she knew who could teach snakes to talk. But she didn't want to see him now. She couldn't. As she turned, she was stopped by a giant anaconda that looked down towards her. As he looked back towards the other snake, she raised her hand in defeat as she followed the snake as he arrived towards the river. The snake pointed at a small bundle of rocks as she moved one to see there was a Fuinjutsu seal underneath it. You want me to activate that? The snake nodded before moving underwater, and she says she activated. On the other side of the riverbed, a trunk of a tree slipped down. Why are things getting so complicated, she thought to herself. As she made her way towards the hollow tree, there was a rope ladder inside. Still, she went down there. As she went down there, it was a long climb down. It was like a massive hive, but it was filled with snakes, all complex areas around. None of the snakes seemed to care that she was there. As she slowly made her way over, as she heard this strange humming sound. Someone was hissing a lullaby. Sleep well, my child. Sleep well, my precious. Dream of starry skies and gentle breezes. Sleep till the sun rises over the horizon. Sleep till the moon drops over the mountain. Let the wind tell you the story of life. Let the earth crumble and the fire burn bright. Let the water flow silent in the river, who was chewing nervously on the dango stick in her mouth. When she arrived, the dango stick fell. Uncle looked up towards a snake that was the size of almost a mountain. Mother of God, she said. The black snake with his scales reflecting, and in the center was Naruto. There was hundreds of other snakes around. Uncle-san, it's a pleasure to see you again, said Kuro. When did you get so big, she asked, as she moved closer to the brat who was sleeping so soundly. He had really grown, but his sleeping face was the same, so soft, so precious and innocent. The older animal summon become, the stronger he or she gets, said Kuro. When I was first born, I was taken away from the rest of the snakes because my eyes were different. I was taken by Naruto and he and I formed a bond. The countless weeks, months, we train together. We help each other. And this still goes on. How does it relate to getting that big, Uncle asked? See, he possessed a natural wing affinity, but he was more focused on learning light affinity. And snakes don't naturally have affinities. So, he handed it over to me. He kept giving me chakra, winged chakra, until I was naturally able to produce it. Then I became Kuro the winged snake, the slipper darkness of the night, the biter of the apocalypse. He chuckled. That is when Taki came into play. Uncles and the hero water, effect, are usually meant to go towards the coils, passing through the stomach. Instead, Naruto evaporated the water, turned into a sauna. And both him and I were stuck in there for a long while. And our cells start to grow tenfold. While he could lower the effects, thanks to the Kyuubi chakra inside of him, I could not. But seeing that I could live for hundreds of years, it worked in my favor. It made sense now, Uncle thought, as she looked towards a massive snake. As she looked around, as it seemed like Naruto was building an army. Hundreds, probably thousands. Hundreds of thousands of snakes were down here. But what was he building the army for? What was he gonna do? Uncle had a bad feeling about this. But guys, we end this episode right here. If you want to see the next part of something to do, like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that bell notification to stay posted. Remember, share to all of your friends in your social media platform. And also guys, stay in tune for the rest of the what's coming over and making, and the making 3. And remember, if you're new and this is the first time you hear my voice, yes, I do have 3 channels. I post what if every single day for you guys to enjoy. So go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become part of the Making family. And thank you for all of your help and your support. And yeah, without further ado, I'm off now. See you guys soon. Peace out.